What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Mastercraft Podcast. I'm your host, Ace Payne. Today, we got some more relationship topics today because I see a lot of people are talking to me about it, but I need y'all to comment, like, subscribe, and hit the like button first off. And as much as I enjoy people telling me what they liked about my podcast, even if you don't like the podcast, you don't like the content or anything that I'm saying, put it in the comments. Uh, put it in the comments and have at it. It's all good to me. So today, one of the topics I wanted to touch on is why why don't relationships in this day and age last anymore? And my personal reason why I feel like relationships aren't lasting in the 20 the what do you call it 2026. It's simple. We got social media. There's so many different apps that can just draw your attention away from so many different things, where even if you have somebody, there's always a constant. Even if you're not on Facebook to be looking for love, or you're not on Instagram looking for a girlfriend, or you're just up there, posting your own content, it still doesn't block you from seeing what everybody else is posting most of the time. And a lot of times, you cross your feed. A lot of people know, if you look at your phone and you just pulled up your Instagram right now, if you were just scrolling and somebody was over your shoulder, you know that they're probably gonna see somebody shaking they ass or something. So that's just what it is. Unless you clean up your friends, and your algorithm is always gonna be getting shown what the algorithm thinks you like. And so in one way, I feel like relationships don't last in this day and age is due to social media. It tears away like the trust, I believe, between like a couple. You can have the strongest relationship in the world. You can have the strongest relationship in the world, and uh, maybe you post a picture. You just got out the gym, and you post a picture, and good day to work. Good work today. Bah, post it. You know, you might have three or four different women commenting or liking the post. Your girl looks at it, starts looking at the same people that are like commenting on things, and in the back of their mind never say nothing to you about it, but at the same time it's in the back of their mind about it. You might catch some unnecessary drama down the way, because she might necessarily not tell you about how she really feels, and secretly she's upset about the attention that you're getting, but at the same time she likes the attention that you're getting, because that just makes it even better that you're with her. So as much as it sucks to have somebody, like, you're out with somebody, and nowadays these streamers, they run up on you and literally try to shoot they shot at your girl while you with them. So that's like a thing now too. But I've always said this: if you could take her, bro, then if you could take a girl from me, or if you draw her attention, she ain't supposed to be with me anyways. If it was that easy for her to go over there, then that wasn't supposed to be for me. So I do believe also too, it's the communication and the lack, to me, of accountability when it comes to certain women and men in relationships. We all go to our inner circles. We after a breakup, or a fight with your girl, or a fight with your man's, and you go talk to the worst people. You talk to your friends. Your friends gonna tell you the worst advice. Just to be honest, your friends are gonna tell you the worst advice. And a lot of times when you talk to your family members, your mom, your pops, your siblings, about what's going on in your relationship, you end up tearing down the relationship, that or the respect that they have for your significant other. And you might down the way damn near repair your relationship, and you had already told them so much of the bad that it's hard for them to look at them and everything they gonna be the right person for you. So you gotta watch how you vent when you vent to certain people, about your relationships, stuff like that. Cause I've gotten terrible advice, terrible advice from friends when it comes to relationships. And another thing you need to understand is, don't take advice from anybody that ain't in the same situation. Seek God, and seek your inner instincts when it comes to how you navigate through the chaos. Communication, the lack of communication. Most relationships have a lack of communication, and when I say communication, I ain't just saying this. Oh, we just ain't talking. No, it's when conflict comes. How do y'all really resolve your issues? Or when she's talking, are you actually being receptive and listening, or are you just staying quiet till she get done talking, so you're not really bringing in any of that what she's saying, or vice versa? Is a woman actually being listening, or she just listening for you to stop talking, so then she can, you know, you gotta be able in this day and age to be able to receive constructive criticism without shitting on a man's pride, and trying to belittle a man. At the same time, men, we don't need to talk down to women. We need to be able to control our emotions as well when we're speaking and we're trying to get a point across. Because y'all, at least me, I don't like to argue. So if I am going to argue, I want to get to a solution. And if we can get to a solution without, furniture being moved and tearing each other down and saying things that you can't take back, because once you get to that point, it's beyond repair. The things that you say and to someone, it really sticks. Even if they on the outside appearance look like everything, she could still be upset about something from 3 or 4 years ago that you said. So that's why I feel like at the age I'm at now, I'm definitely not into the arguing, and I protect my energy. And when I say protect my energy, when things I feel like is getting kind of crazy, I'll completely disconnect from it. Completely disconnect from it. I'll give you an example. Literally, I was working at my job. First 2 weeks, I had a older lady start talking to me, at a station I was at, and I felt like she was being nice, but I kind of could tell like what her intentions were, where she was trying to go with things. But I just generally wasn't like interested. And I've also heard stories about this woman. I had no idea. I had no idea what who everybody was talking about was the lady that was actually talking to me. And once I put it all together, I mean, it wasn't hard. But sometimes when you explain to a woman that I'm just not interested, for some reason it can go that their ego is like fractured, you know. And honestly, like, I'm not trying to have any type of like work relations. I'm not trying to be in the news every day with who's messing with who. Literally, I've came from that. My last job it was the same thing. It was the same thing. So so to me, I wasn't really for it. And then when it came down to explaining why I didn't want to proceed that way, we could just be cool. It then turned into, oh, you saying I'm ugly? You said, yeah. You said I'm just like, whoa. Now, like, I've seen this shit before. Life is about lessons, y'all. When you've seen this before, just in different people. And when I've been completely calm and explained how I feel about certain things, and you still react and you still try to manipulate, it's easy. I'm gone. Gone. So I would say the last couple of weeks it's been real cool because I've just disconnected completely. Don't look, don't talk, don't walk past. Cool. Like I say, I'm literally just trying to get here. I'm just trying to work, keep my head down, and make this money. I'm not trying to, be in no work relationship, and that's just where I'm at right now. I'm rebuilding right now. So you just gotta have your boundaries. I don't feel like I had boundaries when I was like younger. I entertained a lot of shit that honestly I shouldn't even have had around. But just because it was around, I entertained it, and that could take you completely off your path. You know, that could take you completely off your path and take way longer to get to where you want to go. Going a long way. And being hard headed with things. So I've seen that lesson before, so it was easy for me to dismiss that, continue back to my peace, and let people sit with it. It's not being an asshole. It's just I feel like I'm genuinely just real, and sometimes I rub people the wrong way. You know, I definitely understand. Like, uh, I wouldn't say I'm like completely direct, but I say exactly how I feel, and I think it throws people off. So okay, so lack of communication is one, and when you argue, y'all not getting into a resolution. And I'm probably not the best person to be explaining, all this because I've went through so much in my lifetime. But I feel like what I've seen and is actually went through, I feel like I can speak on it a little bit. So y'all let me know too in the comments what y'all think. If I'm completely wrong, dead wrong, right, that comment. Uh, Give me your opinion on what you think, why relationships don't last in this day and age, and is it possible to have a real relationship in this climate? And I do believe if you do get a second chance to get out there in the world, make sure you like really ready to be out there in the world because it's definitely crazy. It's definitely crazy. Men on one hand, we you got to protect yourself from people that's just trying to get the bag, because you could just be the guy for that day, and then somebody else is paying for the dinner 2 days later, So finding something real, I genuinely feel like meeting people on the fly, and not at like no bar or not at you trying to find a wife in the club, you trying to find a husband in the club. That's what do you think was gonna happen, So we just gotta be smart with our choices, and I feel like you just gotta let your energy find your tribe, And I feel like a lot of people when they date, they don't date, and they don't they don't show their real self. So it makes it a lot harder to get to know people, and then when things fall apart, it's because you never really knew that person, you know. So I think the best advice I could give to people is be you from the get go. That way, even if you do lose the person that you really like because you like the way they look, at least you're getting to the you're finding out faster without wasting your time because time is precious and you can't get that back, you know. So find your tribe, and find what's a like-minded person. If y'all have too many different things that maybe you can compromise on, but it's to me it's about literally finding somebody that's like equally yoked like you, and somebody that you can be 100% of yourself. If you have to change yourself for somebody, it's gonna show back up. It's gonna show back up. There's only so long that you can go, you know, playing a role before you get tired of playing like the role. So skip all that and just be yourself. I tell fellas all the time. The best game is no game. The best game is no game. I think a lot of people be quick to call people boo and babe and all that, and all the things that's in your mind. Sometimes that needs to stay there. Like for real. Sometimes I feel like some of that stuff in your mind need to stay there. You need to learn how to talk to women without being like sexual, but just being interesting. And if you don't feel like yourself is interesting, that's the first problem. You gotta have confidence in yourself, and honestly, like you can't be upset if things don't work out. Because you're just putting yourself out there and you got to go through the no's to get the yeses. So the best advice I could be is don't try to do the sweet talking game, talking stuff like that. Ask questions and say something different besides, hey, how was your day? How was the normal boring bullshit that you're gonna say every single day. You know, figure out a different way to say things, and it's not really like a trick. When you being yourself, it ain't game. You know, be yourself, it ain't game. Just talk. You just be you, and I feel like you have a lot more success. That's all I got today. It's your boy Ace Payne. It's the Mastercraft Podcast. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, hit the hype button, so you can get the notifications every time we drop a video. So yeah, we out. Wow.